VLAN can be assigned based on its protocols, ports, or MAC addresses. To assign VLANs using its ports, you have to know which end host is connected to which port. And it is that client you wish to assign this VLAN to. If the answer is yes, then you need to manually assign that host to that port where that host will participate in traffic from this VLAN. This is a static VLAN. To assign VLAN using its protocol, we can differentiate them based on the data they're transmitting. For example, voice VLAN can be used specially to carry voice data, so that if you have an IP phone at the end, you can use this VLAN to carry the voice data. The voice VLAN feature places the phones into their own VLANs without any user intervention. The user simply plugs the phone into the switch, and then the switch, which resides in the phone or outside of the phone depending on its configuration, will provide the phone with the necessary VLAN information. This feature is deployed differently depending on different vendor implementations because each implementation are vendor proprietary. When using a voice VLAN, you get 3 advantages. First, you can manage the VLAN easily because there are different types of traffics and you separate them. And 2, you get more network control on how different data will travel. And 3, this eases troubleshooting as well as enhance security. And the final way to assign a VLAN is based on its MAC address. You can use VMPS, which is a VLAN membership policy server. This server contains a database of MAC address to VLAN mappings and assign the host to the correct VLAN based on its MAC address. So given the different types of traffic, there are also some special VLANs that we need to pay attention to. By default, all ports are assigned to VLAN 1 if none of the previous 3 methods are used to assign the VLAN. This VLAN or VLAN 1 is called the default VLAN. A management VLAN, on the other hand, uses an IP address to remotely access the device using Telnet or SSH. This VLAN is where that IP address resides. This VLAN doesn't relate to any physical port. It's a logical concept that relates to the management IP address configured on the switch or other devices. And finally, a native VLAN is a 802.1q trunk encapsulation concept. We'll talk about the protocol a little later. This VLAN contains data, not hosts, that doesn't have any VLAN tags on them. It is much like the concept of default VLAN, but applies to data instead. All these special VLANs are by default set to VLAN 1. This is one of the reasons that confuses many people. This table should help you clearly differentiate them. You may want to spend a minute and make sure you understand these concepts thoroughly.